need everyone to start with a hand up, and I'm going to say a few things. If they're true to you, I want you to put your hand down. So you always grew up with a valid form of ID, a passport, a birth certificate, etc. You have pictures of yourself growing up as a child, on family holidays, that type of thing. Now, the majority of the hands have gone down, which is what I expected to see. And at the moment, we're facing a crisis where many care experienced young people are not in employment, education or training. The reason I do that exercise is to show how difficult it is for care experienced people to come by basic things that they need. And the bigger things are much harder to get. So today's presentation is going to be a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the care system. We're going to talk about how you and potentially your workplaces can do more to support care experienced people. And I'm going to share a bit of my own story as well. So I'm Amelia, I'm 26 years old and I'm trying my best to be a lawyer. And I work at a law firm called Squire Patton Boggs, and these are pictures of me, my friends, my little brother. I was in the care system from the age of 8 years old. And contrary to popular belief, the care system isn't all foster homes, care homes. Actually, I was placed with my grandparents in a kinship order. And I had run away from home when I was 8 years old in the middle of the night because I knew that where I was living, I was no longer safe. And there's something children have, they just know what to do to survive. And I went to my grandparents 2 o'clock in the morning, and that was that. I was in the care system. My grandparents were wonderful, but they could not fix everything. And I felt as I got older, life started to unravel in different ways. I felt that my social workers weren't being the corporate parent I needed them to be. And I often felt like they didn't really care much about my ambition. And after a lot of pushback, I did make it to university, to City University of London. And I had to advocate for myself. I had to say to my own local authority, I need to go to London to do what I need to do. Apparently that's too expensive for them, but I said, sod that, I'm doing it anyway. So I jumped this hurdle, I graduated, and then I met a new hurdle. I needed a career, and I wanted to be a lawyer, but I had no network at all. So I was introduced to a charity called Drive Forward, who help care experienced people find sustainable and fulfilling employment. I'm now a patron for them, and I help sort of with their mission in helping young people find employment. At the time, they were working with the law firm I now work at called Squire Patton Boggs. So when I was 19 or 20 years old, I went to this law firm, met lawyers for the first time, met lovely Wendy for the first time. And it felt like it was the first time ever people had chosen to care, and the people in that room had chosen to care, which was a huge thing. I'd never had that before. As well as trying to do law stuff, I try and lower the barrier, lower the hurdle a little bit for care experienced people in finding employment opportunities. I feel like now knowing people chose to care, we need more of that. We need more people who choose to care. In terms of education, I mentioned people not in employment, education or training, which we call NEET. In terms of education, whilst 47% of young people go to uni, only 14% of care leavers do. And it will take 107 years to close that education gap if we don't do anything. Poor mental health is also a huge obstacle and a contributor to young people being NEET. And Thalia has spoken wonderfully about connections today, and one thing that helped me, having my first connection with Squire Patton Boggs, opened up a whole plethora of opportunities. And it has been proven that if young people have touch points with employers, at least 4 of them, before they leave school, they're less likely to end up NEET. So we're going to think about what you can do, what your organisation can do to help support care experienced young people. And one thing I would really recommend, and one thing that has helped me, is forming a programme in conjunction with care experienced young people, and also talking to experts who have a real understanding of their needs. I have been very lucky to have had mentors throughout my life. I am the mentee in the audience Thalia did not name. We met at uni, and she introduced me to my first ever mentor. And I've had many mentors after that. And they have helped me realise that all the negative, traumatic things that happened to me when I was younger have given me really valuable personal skills, such as resilience and emotional intelligence. And practically, I wouldn't underestimate offering practical workshops to care experienced young people. I mean, I learned to write an email at Selfridges, and it held me in really great stead when I got into a law firm. It's actually something we don't do enough of. This is a little bit more niche, but having trauma-informed workforces is becoming a lot more popular now. And I truly believe to understand somebody's development needs in the workplace, you need a full essence about who that person is, particularly with care experienced young people who have gone through very difficult upbringing situations. Think about ring fencing some of these opportunities. I felt that I didn't really have a community of care experienced people that I knew, and having ring fenced opportunities helped me sort of meet more people that were like me and in my position. That's me with Fatima Whitbread. She's really, really nice. And what leaving care should be, I want us all to go away today thinking about some of the stigma and the bias we have about care experienced people. I could stand here for hours and talk about criminalisation stats, homelessness stats, but that is not the full picture about who care experienced people are. They are resilient, they are talented, and it's untapped potential. These final slides, I didn't really think about them too much. So it's pictures of me when I was younger, and I think these really symbolise for me that little Amelia didn't know that big Amelia was going to end up all right, and I wish I could scoop her up and go, you are fine, it works out. And when I look at this picture of me and my grandma, I want you all to think about the children in your lives. What do you want for your children? And would you allow the things that are happening to care experienced people happen to your children? You want the best for them. So I would like to all today to go away and just try and integrate a little bit of that into your lives. So thank you very much. Thank you.